Hey everyone, I'm Scott Cunningham, aka Scottsy Business, and today we're going to be talking about crypto investing currently is about as risky as it can possibly be. Now, I love crypto. I'm like 89% of my wealth is in crypto. I'm basically going as risky as I possibly can too, but I think this video is important for me to finally address that crypto is very risky, right? My crypto portfolio has had swings of 50%, 60%. I've gone up and down hundreds of thousands of dollars. It is very stressful and it is very intense and it's extremely volatile. People start, going crazy about the stock market's going down, crypto's going down, everything's going all around. I go and I look at my extremely conservative stock portfolio and it's like up 0.5%. And it's always kind of generally going up, and I've never really had any big drops, or it's just been really easy going. Very conservative investments, very low PE ratios, not much to worry about, at least here in Canada when I'm investing in banks, insurance, etc. Then when I get into crypto, my portfolio is just all over the place. And I mean, it could potentially depend on what you're investing in, but there's so many risks that you have in crypto that you do not have in traditional investing. Even if you're to go through an ETF and invest through a stock into Bitcoin, you've still got the volatility. And if you want, but then you don't have the security and the actual ownership. So if you do want that, then you have other risks. You're paying all these fees. The biggest thing right now is like all the different types of scams. I'm not even able to keep up with the amount of new scams that are coming out and let you guys know about them. Some that I have on the top of my mind that I should be doing soon are KYC traps on exchanges, sleep minting, a new NFT scam where they're able to create essentially fake, authentic looking NFTs, the dusting crypto attack scam. There's a lot of different things going out there that I still need to cover. Investing psychology, a lot of your own psychological biases and things that are working within you all the time when it applies to investing, they're almost all working against you. I'm going to be doing a full video breakdown on that as well. But this is, again, just to point out that a lot of the factors and variables are against you. And I mean, investing psychology applies to normal stocks as well, but it's extremely amplified in the crypto sphere when everyone's coming in with ridiculous expectations. They're seeing coins going up thousands and thousands of percent. Mainstream media is promoting coins like Squid Game token and just adding to all of the nonsense. And in the crypto world, there's very little accountability because anyone can anonymously create a token. You can do all of this and then you could rug pull whatever, little to no accountability or responsibility or, any of that kind of stuff because you might have not even known who they were to begin with. There's a lot of concerns when it comes to crypto. And again, I am still very much pro crypto, but I don't believe I've ever really done a video where I've sat down and said, this is probably some of the riskiest investing that you can do. The big difference is how much extra risk are you then going to add into all of this? There's all these scams. That anyone can easily create crypto and do it anonymously, and there's very little barrier to entry. That your investing psychology is against you. That it's volatile. That a lot of these things end up being pump and dumps, rug pulls, scams, and still people are investing in crazy random altcoins hoping to get it 100x. This is all just gambling. This is not investing anymore. You can invest in crypto by actually investing in something. And investing in something looks like buying the dips because you think this is a good asset. So if it's going down in price, that's like a sale to you, not you're invested in some terrible coin, it goes down in price, and you sell at a loss because you're like, I don't even know if this is good. I got to get out. And then you lose money. A lot of this just comes back to how you get started and your approach to crypto investing in general. my recommendation, not that any of this is financial advice, is just to stick with some of the well-known cryptocurrencies that have really good fundamentals and good use cases behind them. Two great examples are Bitcoin and Ethereum. And you're already taking on so much risk just to be in those two buckets. To start venturing past that and getting into random altcoins, low cap coins, all this stuff, you're introducing so much more risk when you're already doing some of the riskiest investing that you possibly could. I would say altcoin investing is riskier than penny stock investing because there's no accountability and there's lower barrier to entry, amongst many other things that I've already mentioned. So I truly do believe that it's probably one of the riskiest things that you can do to invest in crypto. But it's exponentially more risky to get into crypto and then start looking for, small cap coins, altcoins, all these really small, tiny coins that you hope will 10x, 100x. It's just not realistic. And it's like you're buying lottery ticket after lottery ticket when you should be investing in quality assets and just putting that money in dollar cost averaging in over time and just getting your wealth up and just growing your wealth slowly over time, not trying to throw everything at some random coin. Most people who come to me to ask about a cryptocurrency, it's not like they looked it up and they went through it and it looks really solid and then they're like, should I invest in this? Most of the time, it's my friend is investing in this and he thinks it's so great. Should I as well? And that's always scary to me, that's generally the proposition that most people come with when they're asking me about a coin. Or, there's so much hype in this right now. Or like, look at, it's going up a lot in percentage. It must be good. These are not indicators necessarily that something is good. I mean, it could just be a pump and dump. It could be many of these things that I've talked about. I've already covered a lot of this before, but I think it matters that I do one video where I say, look, crypto is extremely risky. I've taken on a lot of risk to be in this at all. So I try to be conservative within my crypto investing so that my massive risks are not made any more than they have to be, right? You don't want to expose yourself to risk unnecessarily. And if someone could actually quantify the level of risk that they take on with crypto and then quantify the amount of risk that you take on with investing in all these tiny random coins, I think you would be able to actually compare those and you would say, yeah, no, that's way too much risk. I'm not going to do that. But because it's not easy or obvious what that looks like, and it's not easy to quantify that and actually see that for yourself and compare them, people don't really get that overview of how intense it really is and how they're really just gambling. And a lot of people will just say, oh yeah, I mean, I don't need this money. This is extra money, whatever. Just saying that doesn't make it like a good investment. A lot of those people still don't really have much money to invest anyways. So the very little that you have should not be going into random bets. It should be going to securing your future. And even that mindset alone of trying to catch 100x of gambling with your finances is probably largely the reason why you might be struggling with your finances to begin with. Because it's not about catching the 100x. It's about consistently having discipline and being dedicated with your finances and budgeting and doing all the good personal financial behaviors that will lead you to success. It's much less about picking the perfect investment, and it's much more about doing the due diligence and the background work to actually be successful, and the day-to-day stuff, checking your budgets, checking in on news for your investments, keeping up with your investments. It's all the little day-to-day things that really make you successful, not, throwing all of your money into one asset and then that blows up and you get lucky and it's like, there you go. But again, even if that happens, that is a positive feedback loop where if you do something really risky and you get lucky and it pays off, then you believe in your mind that that was a good decision and a good strategy, you'll probably end up losing all of that money trying to do the same thing again. I'd be very unsurprised. I'm going to get into all of that and all the psychology stuff and studies of, who's actually got the best performing and the worst performing portfolios. I'm going to be doing a huge video on investing psychology that I think will shed a lot of light on this type of stuff. But for now, this is my public service announcement of saying that crypto is very risky. Don't get me wrong. I've been doing very, very well. It's been really great. But I've never really sat down and said, look, this is going to be extremely risky, but I still think it's worth it. And then caveat that with the fact that you should not be adding any more risk to what's already so ridiculously risky. Do not treat your future financial health or your wealth as something to gamble on, like, oh, it could be good, it could not be good. No, you can ensure that it is as good as possible within the confines of what's realistic. So that's my thoughts on crypto investing and how much risk you should really be taking on. I don't think it's too late for crypto. I just think you have to really pay attention to what's going on, and you should just slowly dollar cost average in versus trying to catch the perfect asset at the perfect timing with a big lump sum. Very hard to do. I mean, great if you can, but it's not very realistic, and it's not something that is easily replicable or something that you can easily learn or be taught. So I think you're much better focused on just having good habits, slowly building your wealth, and doing all the things that I've talked about before. I have a full video on 20 rules for investing. You can go and check that out. I'll link that in the description below. But let me know, what do you guys think about all this? Is crypto super risky? Are you still taking on that extra risk and doing all of these small altcoins and diving into all that kind of stuff? Have you gone into any scams or rug pulls or anything like that? Let me know in the comments below. I would love to hear from you guys. I hope everyone is making money, and even if you are taking on extra risk, I hope everything goes well for you, but I wouldn't recommend it. Again, none of this is financial advice, really just financial entertainment, if you will. But I'd love to hear from you guys. Let me know in the comments below. And thank you so much for watching. If you did watch to the very end, do comment ##1ham in the comments below, and that way I know you watched to the very end. I'm Scott Cunningham, aka Scottsy Business, signing off. Cheers.